4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my God! When does this happen? Everybody's dead.
For once, I've remembered to unmute myself on time. Welcome everyone to this division. C East match this night. Well, I guess early morning for a lot of viewers. I'm actually aware it's roughly 5 AM EST as I'm casting this. But yes, today we have a C East game of ReGen Nebula versus fensad. I don't really know what happened here. This is another Div C match. It's on the opposite coast of the one I play on, so it should be good fun to watch and see where it goes. So as we can see, the side of ReGen Nebula had banned out Braxis Holdout and Dragonshire, while fensad, I found out, banned out Volskaya, which on the website showed as Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow. But as you can see, with that banned one, indeed was not Alterac Pass, as Alterac Pass was actually the first map we're going to go to. So without too much more, what I'm going to do is get that map going, as I've already preloaded in the background. So let me click play button, let me click this, and we are off. So we have on the side of, let me turn it on a bit. I don't know if that shows or not. We have a side of ReGen Nebula, Stixer on the, is that Junkrat? Yes, Junkrat. Tishives on the Shives on the Felsad, Murder on the Muradin, Rakim is on the Stukov, and IT Cowboy on the Tahaka. And on the right hand side we see H Kawaii on the. Oh, sorry, I just need to pause for a brief moment. Sorry, let me just actually throw it to a quick back to this. Sorry, just brief error. Give me a moment. That was a very quick diff by Valstad. Sorry, I was just having a few technical issues there. I just saw things going wrong very quickly. However, Valstad died in that very brief moment that I was having technical issues, which is unfortunate. This is a very good kill from the side of ReGen Nebula. Not ReGen Nebula. Very good kill onto the side of ReGen Nebula by fensad. That is one of the fastest kills I've ever seen in Nexus Gaming Series. Unfortunately, I just had that technical issue going on at the beginning there, but honestly, I could eat it out. I could just go back, restart the stream, but at this point, I've committed to it. People know my mistake, and it's more honest to keep it this way. So, to be honest, we have Grismore on the Orphea. When I'm having problems today. My word, I really should just reset it. Grismore is on the Orphea. Hawaii is on ETC. Jesse Fast on the Brightwing. Robot Wizard on Hanzo, and Ruglord on Blaze. Now that we have everything sorted and that I've no longer as flustered over my brief technical issues I was having as everything was just pinging me at once. We have again, one kill already to the side of fensad. That was a very fast kill into Tishives, and I imagine they're going to be playing much more safe. See, Grismore's actually getting a lot of damage out of them, but we need just a bit more dodging from you, Tishives. Falstad is just getting eaten alive by Orphea, and meanwhile we see Hawaii is doing their best to zone out the free man of the ReGen Nebula side so far, but it's not going to be the easiest thing for them to do, as we do see Junkrat Mine is there. It does get a nice slide and actually get good polymorph on the side of Jazzy Fast as we see Hawaii taking relatively a lot of damage already. ETC is not known for being one of the tankiest of tanks. Their health pool actually in comparison to the others is quite small. I think only a Nubrax is small, but he does have that armor on each of his abilities to kind of balance it out. Meanwhile, we do see level 4s for both team and Robot Wizard does jump over fence. Things to note at the moment, we do see Muradin is stacking Q. We see Falstaff's also stacking Q. Actually, Phase Shift came out to tear Shives to back out. Grismore would have probably died if he didn't have that. So very good heads up play by Jazzy Fast. Hopefully, oh, Robot Wizard is in danger. But what I was going to say, hopefully if you're oh, excellent finish by Junkrat, actually nicely done, just getting that one grenade lob over and taking them out. Prison cap's already up, wow. This is going relatively... I know it's always at 2:30, but I guess because of my one mess up beginning, it's just like my computer having an issue. It did throw me off quite a bit. Oh. Good job. You killed it. You killed the bird. I like to think sometimes. I'm going to go in tangent here while we're waiting for objective and just seeing what each team does, i.e. camps. I like to say that Falstad is the bird. Just because it's a really dumb concept to me. This is really just going to be late night streams where I just talk absolute nonsense and you guys have to accept it. I've always think that Falstad is the bird. Not the dwarf, but the bird, absolutely. And if you argue with me, I'm going to cry. No, it's just not a silly thing. Because Hakwai is an awkward situation, does have to use slide to get on out. If Rackham hit that W, that may have been actually a little bit more trouble for Hakwai. But at the present point, it's not too much issue. We do actually see Tashives coming in. Actually, speaking up from Hakwai, fortunately for Brightwing, the phase shift did not go off. Because we may have actually had a very dead Brightwing as well, if that was the case. Grismore stepping up, looking to get damage as they can, but does not decide to kind of do too much. Meanwhile, Ruglord is just pushing top, I should mention. Getting as much value as they can up there. However, this objective, with the damage bonus it can give, can very much balance things out if you are spreading your lanes correctly with each thing. Grismore is doing what shit damage they can. We see Murder actually getting pretty low, does dodge the W. Sevens through both sides, Dahake picks the tongue up. And we do see actually that is Hansa going to first. Nice double stun by Ruglord, however it's too little too late. It is already objective over, and we see Murder, IT Cowboy sticks again relatively low. Everyone going through that small corridor. Grismore not managing to quite find the Q, but however IT Cowboy does find his Q. Tongue comes out, and that will be the ETC going down. This is where I talked about that lane pressure kind of management thing. Because honestly, I'd like to see someone head top to make sure that there's value going up there as well. We do see Dahaka is slowly rotating up. Meanwhile, we do have a 4-man just hard pushing this bot tower of bottom by this ReGen Nebula. So we're going to need to see a bulk, like a strong defense come out and ETC kind of waddle his way down there at first. We do see the blue side pushing in. Warning ping coming out. Tower going down slowly but surely. W does interrupt ETC. ETC can... Oh, good phase shift by Brightwing. ETC can live this time. However, he still was roughly 30%. If Brightwing didn't give it off, that will definitely have been a very dead ETC. But even now, he's still looking like he's going to go down at any moment. We do see him slide through. That is now Murder in danger. Murder hits a hammer on. That building is still up for a little bit longer. Rackham now taking the damage from it. That's Orphea and Robot Wizard doing the best to hit him. That will be him going down, as that was all 3 stacks of Chaos. Just hit straight into him. Murder does jump, meaning that he is going to be able to dodge the Dread. And that is level 10s coming through first from the side of ReGen Nebula. You know, I'm very much hoping my sound's working properly after I've kind of talked about how it's not. And then we do see Muradin's jump is eaten by Hawaii's slide. However, Murder will still be able to get out, and they're not going to be in too much of danger. 10's now through for the other side as well. That is what you want to see if you are that team. Give me a moment, I just quickly mute myself. Excellent, I know everything is working perfectly now. So, we do see Avatar from Muradin. We see push massive shove from Stukov. Junkrat has picked up Riptire. Gust from Falstad, the always present Gust being such an issue for everyone. And then we do have, well, maybe not Gust, but at least a level 20 if we get to that point. And we do hear bottom going down. As I was going to say, and Isolation for Dahaka. And on the right hand side, we do have Eternal Feast from Orphea. We have Bunker Blaze. Mosh Pit ETC, so we're getting a nice lot of combination here, because there's also that Dragon Arrow from Hanzo to kind of keep them in place for just that bit longer. Also, boss is being taken by the side of ReGen Nebula, and last and certainly not least, it is Brightwood with Blink Heal. And that is the first boss of the game, that first Frost Giant, I believe that's what they're called, going over the side of ReGen. Oh, there's a Dragon Arrow. It's off into the sunset. We do see IT Cowboy now in a bit of danger. Slide comes out, that is him taking a lot of damage. Junkrat Mind, meaning that they have to stay off them, and that is a good peel. Other things to know about quests, we do see Felstar's nearly finishes base 30 to give extra bonus. Five stacks through, enhanced agility from Dahaka. Murder's getting there on the stacks. We do see that coming out. IT Cowboy going very low. That is barely getting fetched out of time. It looks like Acquire's thinking about that. Mosh Pit, however, will not quite find it and goes down before the party can truly start. Other stacks to note is that I didn't mention is Hanzo went scatter at level 1, which is called Simple Geometry, because I don't forget, and Mind Devour from Orphea. And we actually see the side of ReGen Nebula now looking at doing that top boss. Keep in mind, Gusta's still up, so it makes it a lot harder for the side of fensad to step on here once the objective is down. Like, sure, they can be as patient as they want, but one big gusty boy does keep the team off the objective well enough. And also we can see Junkrat with that point control, with that Junkrat Mine. We do see Arrow coming out, hitting a free man. Orpheus doing the best following it. Gus gives it out. Rakim does go to use Massive Shove, however, was standing in the Eternal Feast a little bit longer than they maybe would have liked, but it will not be lethal at least. Right, let me get rid of this and just keep showing that camera work, because apparently my camera can work sometimes. We do see 13 advantage is through for ReGen Nebula. And we do hear Mosh coming up, and that is actually just Mirrodin found, and a lot of people coming out. Hawaii just gets pushed away from them. Murder, Rackham, Sticks are all getting like relatively, well, hit relatively hard. Meanwhile, IT Cowboy is kind of getting that side soak. That is the advantage to Haka. You can have your, actually into Shive, so any globals really, because I think all of them are actually picked this map. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And that is level 13's for side of fensad now, but as I was saying, Tahaka has been soaking more in this meantime. We're going to see Encore come out. Yep, there it is. Getting that cooldown reduction on Mosh Pit, because now we're only at 60 seconds to Shive's in a relatively dangerous position. Does hit a nice Q onto both Jabberty Fast and Robert Wizard. Gus used here, maybe not necessary, but at least keeps him alive. And Murder is now in danger. Has to pop the Avatar due to the amount of damage he's taken. Quiet and Ruglord looking to go in. Excellent at Dragon Arrow from Hanzo. However, the follow-up isn't quite there. Ruglord is now getting that charge out. Stukov is in danger. Murder can't do too much about it. There'll be Stukov going down. Valstar flies into a spot, realizes, maybe not such a great idea being here, actually, and backs on out. Meanwhile, IT Cowboy's just been driving it home, and they open up that bot lane without too much of a hassle, kind of pushing into them. As Dahaka, yeah, can just burrow out. We do see Dahaka's burrowing out now, and they're going to get real aggressive here in just a few moments. Keep in mind, Mosh is going to be up with that next Encore. We see it is up now, and actually there's Orphea going down first. That is a large part of their combo down. And not much is there to stop. Oh, actually, never mind. Stixer was that Junkrat Mine doing so much, and that would be 12 seconds left on the camp for fensad to break them out, but they just didn't quite find it, as Drekfar's forces are getting held back just that bit longer. Meanwhile, Vandar's cavalry is breaking closer and closer to getting out of dodge. IT Cowboy finding a nice globe, and let's just see what the side of... Yeah, I think it's very smart for the side of fensad to kind of be soaking in this point in time, just because 16s are now through for ReGen, and they're getting objective coming up in just 2 seconds from now. Yeah, we do see some camp being taken, just again squeezing up that soak, but let's have a look at 16s real quick for people who are interested, because we do have that full Mage Starred build. That's kind of like the major thing to note. Junkrat went spread fire volley? Yeah, spread volley, which gets very annoying if you turns the game into a pseudo bullet hell. And yeah, I'm seeing more of this Mirrodin build recently, where we have Haymaker at 7 and not Haymaker, Skullcracker at 7 and Dwarf Launch at 16. Just because you have that extra engage range. See, I've always been a fan of heavy impact, but I do understand how much value the auto attack build can get up. But we do hear Arrow coming out. We do see Tishives and Murder taking a bit of damage from that. ravenous feast. But there will not be anyone going down there. Dahaka, meanwhile, is just pushing top of objective. He's just having a grand old time pushing this game. If we even look at this kind of siege damage, we can see that while Blaze is ahead of him, he is doing very well to kind of keep up. Robot Wizard does muscle IT Cowboy out. IT Cowboy doesn't really want to deal with anything. But don't realize, go back in. That was Mosh interrupted by Gust. Unfortunate, because it looks like to be quite a big one actually from what I saw. Tongue comes out onto Blaze. Blaze is going relatively low. That'll be Blaze down. I don't even know if he had stun up, but it still was a bit too much. Excellent kind of burrow and pull by Dahaka. Is it going to close this once? As apparently I'm going to show stats once again. No, as I'm going to close this now. 16s are now through for fensad, very important. However, bosses are up, and we can see that ReGen Nebula are starting them. The top boss up in 40 seconds or so. Bottom boss is up. Now, Harvick will Mountain Giants on Frost Giants. Never mind. The more you know. And we do see bot is taken. Camps are going to be traded likely. That's kind of how this map just works. The team of fensad is playing very safe now, as you can see. They're just very much 4 or 5 members together. And we do see Blaze heading down bottom. We do see actually 2 members heading top. Probably the 2 fastest at killing bosses heading top. But that is looking like they just want to make sure that the side of ReGen Nebula doesn't get a free boss. And yep, they look like to be posturing quite aggressively now. These camps are likely trade unless Dahaka has something to say about it, which we can see he does. Boss is getting close to core. It doesn't really... It won't kill core. I don't think it will at least, but it will at least pressure it. And we do see now that the blue side is thinking about starting it. What are you going to do, ReGen? Yep, ReGen does indeed decide to start that boss, and actually that's already over half its health. They burn that boss so fast. What on earth is that? Oh, but actually in the middle, that is Dahaka going down. That is what you need if you're fensad. You need to kind of stop that split push that's been happening. You need to stop that extra soak and just slow down the team for a bit. As well as you get up that catch-up experience, which is also important and relevant when the team is almost at... The enemy team's almost at 20s and you're kind of barely trying to keep up. We do see this Mountain Giant is pushing it now. Hunter was in that? I did not think Hunter was in that. That's unfortunate. We do see the side of ReGen Nebula since the objective murder falls short for Kwai. Does now find them with that hammer. It is going to just start auto-attacking them because Skullcracker. Rackham doing a little bit of zoning, but we can see a lot of zoning by this junk right here. Oh, a mine. Oh, a trap. Oh, look, another trap. Oh, look, a stun. Oh, look, another stun. Dragon Arrow hitting a good 3 members there. We do see Hakwai following up as a... However, Junkrat Trap was already underneath him. Mine means that Mosh was interrupted. Gust was also there to follow up. Excellent stun, actually catching out Rackham. Rackham's the first one to go down. We do see Ruglord and just staying on Stixer as much as they can. However, that will be Ruglord needing drop Bunker. Brightwing gets in it as well. Blaze just runs up. Tongue actually finds him before he can go out, and Junkrat Mine is one to finish him off. Wizard overextends. However, Murder doesn't quite find the hammer. It does hammer the wrong way. We do see RT Cowboy doing his best. That move speed, enhanced agility, trying the best down top of it. E is used to burrow under Grismore's Q. I can't remember what it's called. To Shives goes in behind. Robot was in now in awkward position. Does lose 15% armor. However, that will be Grismore finding the kill on Dahaka as well. And that will be a 2 for 3 in the favor of ReGen Nebula as they do now have their Storm talent. Speaking of which, oh look! Wind Tunnel, what a surprise! We actually have Apex Predator from Dahaka because we already see who wanted to split push. Allows them to split push more. What a surprise. To Shives going on to Grismore. Grismore is... that was looking pretty even in that fight, but the Brightwing phase shifting just kind of meant that to Shives just wasn't able to commit as much as they like. Oh, sorry. Other heroics, we do have... I can't remember what it's called because you see a Cannonball from Junkrat, Rewind Mirrodin, and what are you going to go do, speak of? Are you gonna be the fun one, or are you gonna be the healing one, or are you gonna be the other trait one that I don't remember what it does or is called and make me sad? It is in fact healing one, top off with that 40% extra healing. Wait, are we actually that classic infinite spread? No, we're not. We are the it subsists when Pustule is used. It lasts for 3 seconds longer, thanks to that level 16. But we have level 20s come through for the side of fensad. We see final Takata from the Orphea. Burn on displays. Death Metal ETC. Speaking of ETC, we're going to see him come out now. I feel like there is a lot of overcommitment to stopping that mosh, because that's the second time in a row we've seen Wind Tunnel used when either just a shove from Rackham or a Junkrat Mine is necessary. We do see Murder does take out that objective. We actually see that as Bunker drop to Shives now in all position. Hakwai doing their best. Shives getting relatively low. Will not quite go down Eternal Feast. Murder does their best to jump out. And that is a nice stun coming out in place. We heard the charge animation to kind of wind up, but nothing was found. And again, we see charge come out. Rackham barely away with it and will live just a bit longer. Other two talents that I mentioned is also, by the way, for the Storm talents, is we have Bullseye Hanzo and Speedy Dragon Brightwing. Just because we have seen Brightwing kind of barely miss, almost missed so many phase shifts, that change of 2 to 1 seconds for the phase shift timer is an insane amount of value for when you need to get someone as quick as possible and make sure they live. And we do see boss is started. Hawaii does scout it, and actually that will be now beside a ReGen Nebula seeing them. We do see Hammer coming out. Grismore and Robot Wizard stacking up as much as they can. However, there's EC going down, but there is Murder in a place he does not want to be. He is stuck in a death mosh, and we do see Tashives going up. They did actually have the wind tunnel, so they very much could have kept the team in, but they didn't quite get that flight and far enough over. But meanwhile, this boss is going to be burnt down, and I imagine we're going to see some sort of core play here, which, in all honesty, if you're... I should really not cast this late anymore. If you're aggressive enough, they probably can take it. IT Cowboy doesn't quite find the tongue. Falstad says at flight just, hey guys, still 40 seconds away, 42 seconds away. It is not quite something we can get to in time. But we do see Falstad's getting relatively close already. That kind of barrel roll is purely used and gets you across the map pretty quickly. But this is free forts down. This is free keeps down, as well as boss on core. Murder's just trying to get that extra wave up as well, and we do actually see a massive wave top. And imagine this core is going to fall relatively fast, as we do see boss is falling faster, however. We hear Riptide coming out. That is a nice 2-man hit. IT Cowboy and Murder get out of that creep, as they don't want to go down to it. Hawaii is pushing backline. I imagine we're going to see one W here. No, we see Sly coming out. Then a W. However, that's too little too late as core go down. And the first map goes over to ReGen Nebula. GG calls by both sides, and I thought I updated my chat, just no one said anything during the game, huh? But yep, that was the first map going over to the side of ReGen Nebula. Let me throw it over to my game summary screen, and we'll just have a quick look at things real quick here. I think maybe just updates and outside of it, we'll find out soon enough. So, what do we see? Stixer and well, actually Hunter and Junkrat, the Overwatch heroes, incredibly close on damage in that game. 700 damage in it, 762 damage to be exact. Soak, Blaze absolutely smoked the Haka in terms of siege damage, but Soak very close as well. What else am I going to look at? Otherwise, yeah, actually, despite the kills being 12-7, that's still pretty close. A 5-kill advantage of the side of ReGen Nebula just kind of did close it out, as it was always those kind of 1 or 2 staggers from fensad. That means they couldn't have that full kind of fight they wanted. And a quick look at talents. Anything that stands out? Q-Build, but I've seen Q-Build more and more often, so that's not a surprise. This quest, Perfect Storm. I don't know if it's good or not anymore. I've barely seen it used now. But otherwise, yeah, everything is relatively standard from what I can see, unless someone has better eyes than I do. But that is for another time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it to the map view while I get next map ready. I'll see you very shortly. as you can see, we have a game prepared. ReGen Nebula on the last one. We do have now Infernal Shrines for map, but I can't escape this season, so let me chuck it on over there as soon as we're in. We do see on the left-hand side of ReGen Nebula, we have Rackham on Anduin, Tashives on Zagara, Stixer on the Kalphus, Murder on the Joanna, and IT Cowboy is back on Dahaka. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we have Hawaii as off-tank, and actually on the Bruiser this time on Sonya, Robot Wizard on the... Oh god, I can't remember what characters are called now. Cassia. Jazzy Fast is on Stukov this time. Ruglord is on Garrosh, and Grismore is on the... What I can only imagine will be Calamity Li Ming with kind of how Ruglord... Well, how Garrosh plays in general. We're getting a lot of Sesame pings. Actually, that was a very aggressive positioning from the side of fensad, meaning they're going to get relatively stunned. And that will be actually Ruglord going down first. So while ReGen Nebula lost their first character, their player first last game, we do see fensad losing their player first this game. So maybe, if we're going to go off last game, that means it's going to go over to fensad, just because whoever loses a character first wins, right? We'll see. That's a very much let's just say line bus weird forwards. I don't know where I'm going with that sentence. I gave up on it pretty quickly. Murder doing their best to make sure Ruglord can't get before onto Stixer, because Stixer would have very much been in danger. We see PL coming out, and that's Ruglord and Jazzy Fast having to back, well, the side of fensad having to back off, and I'm just kind of thinking about the comps. We do see that fensad is very much a team that is wanting to fight. They have a team that can fight very well. However, on the objective, that isn't interesting how well can they fight, because if we have a look at talents, we do see it's a Q build Cassia, so potentially a lot of her damage may be eaten by the Shrine Skeletons. But it'll be hard to tell until the objective happens. But meanwhile, we have a lot of clear from the side. Well, Sonya is actually pretty good clear for it as well, but we do also have a lot of clear from the side of ReGen Nebula, as we do have things such as Kalphus, we do have Joanna, and even Tashives and IT Cowboy are both really good heroes. Very much a more objective style team, which on a map like this probably has the advantage over the team fight team, but it'll be a bit hard to tell. If the side of fensad can kind of hybridize it into more push style combo, it could be interesting, but very unlikely. Garrosh has a spot he fills. Fortunately for him, he can't throw the Shrine minions, because that would be an absolute disastrous pick then otherwise on this map. And we do actually see Triumvirate from Li Ming, so we may actually see that or build Li Ming, which can still be very good here, but I'm just afraid of those Shrine minions. But this can still go either way. I'm just like nodding my head like, yes, good point. Good point, Lime. You've done well. Yes, excellent, good. No, but in terms of second talents, because I haven't touched on those yet, we do actually have Subdue from Joanna at 4, Mana Shield from Kalphus at 1, Warbreaker from Garrosh. Yes, Warbreaker, Garrosh, and Thunderstroke. Yep, Thunderstroke, Cassia, as we're now going to get teams. Oh, my camera work is going to start coming up. We see Ruglord did try to get a toss out on IT Cowboy. IT Cowboy managed to waddle away. Because I was supposed to make a note because nobody had any grapes. And then he waddled away. Waddle, waddle. And then the very next day. Bump, 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 bump. Cassia hasn't chosen a 4 yet, I'm going to point out. We see Murder's kind of brawling up front. Ruglord does get stunned by Stixia. And we actually see that this Dahaka is getting value bottom. They're actually getting that 7s. But imagine they're going to rotate up relatively soon. Robot Wizard gets hit by Murder's W, but will not quite go down. Ruglord isn't able to find anything. Yep, 7s are fully picked up. IT Cowboy goes in. We see they're trying their best to get a tongue out of someone, and they do have Robot Wizard to kind of separate it from rest. Murder getting a lot of damage out. Grismore is barely... No, Grismore is not going to be able to survive. That bomb is just slightly too much. And that is unfortunate timing for them. Robot Wizard also getting relatively low. WVM going down next. Kalphus getting 2 kills. Ruglord now also in danger. Does actually throw Murder out, so there isn't going to get too much more kind of value off him running at the team. But it would be the Nice 2 kills for nothing by ReGen Nebula. Let's have a quick look at talents picked up. We do have now full orb build. We actually have Zagara leaning into kind of hybridized build. You don't usually see Medusa Blades if you're going to go the Bile Drops, the Bile Drop quest, because usually more fight style Zagara. But the Medusa Spines does let her clear waves and points quicker. Grismore is note that for Q build. We do see Cassia now has picked up her traits of Avoidance and Plate of a Whale at 7 and 4 respectively. So this will be close now. We do see Ruglord taking a lot of damage. There's not really too much that can kind of fully get through him up to 16. Robot Wizard actually taking a lot of damage. Didn't get the objective to quite jump the gate, unfortunately. And meanwhile, Dahaka and Zarya? Sonya are kind of side-soaking, and we do see Ruglord get stunned. Taking a lot of damage from that Arcane Punisher. And then we'll try to get Slam out. Not much going to be found from it, and that will be a root coming out. But that will be the Arcane Punisher going down. Fortunately for fensad, it was just an Arcane at 1. As this first Punisher, it could have very much been a Frozen Punisher, which would have been a disaster. It's a quote one of my friends who apparently has just no tone in his voice whatsoever. Just if you expect him to kind of put any emphasis behind it, you just don't hear it. It's just monotonous. But I do love the man. Shout out to my boy, one of my Greek teammates, Jim. But we do see now they're considering doing objective, but no, decide to wait just a little bit. We do have a rotation potentially coming up as they're closer to 10s. We do see 10s coming through now. We do see Styxer throwing out bombs. Murder is actually the one going to get tossed, which isn't quite who you want to find when you're Ruglord, but hey, it is what it is. And right, in terms of heroic talents from the side of ReGen Nebula, you have Nidus picked up by Zagara, because that's just the one I saw. Falling Sword, Joanna. Adaptation Dahaka. I had to look at it for a brief moment. That's not isolation. What is that? I play the character. I should know. We also have Phoenix from Kael'thas and Lightbomb Anduin. Surprise, surprise. We do have Massive Shove Stukov of second game. I love Massive Shove. It is such a fun talent. I absolutely love as well the when push comes to shove a level 20, because you just keep pushing the same one back, and if you're that someone, it can be pretty tilting to get pushed over and over and over again by this one big armed boy. Other things to note is we do have Disintegrate from Li Ming. We do have Anduin hitting that route. Nicely done. Warlord's challenge Garrosh. Lightning Ball Cassia and Leap Sonya, which is going to be kind of their main engage now, just because Garrosh can't engage super hard. He does need to be mounted to get a decent one, because otherwise he has a slam and a throw, that's about it. But Sonya with Leap gives that kind of gap closer, so to speak. So I'm almost surprised we don't see Valkyrie, but I do like the Ball Lightning for the objective fight. This Nidus is in danger. It's just sitting there. Like, look at it. It's just sitting there in danger. Dahaka is... Well, let's just zoom out, because that looks garbage. IT Cowboy does have to back out as Ruglord's kind of pushing into them. We do see that the side of ReGen Nebula is very much wanting that bottom keep, but with the team of fensad not showing on map, you're not really wanting to overstay your welcome anywhere in particular. Just because they do have a comp, if they get the drop on you, you will probably die. Murder doing this. Grismore taking a lot of damage. Murder is pinging, or getting pinged. We do send back out. They pick up a globe. They're not globes themselves, but the more globes that Styxer gets, the stronger their mana shield will be. Nice unstop from them. Ruglord maybe was trying to get through, but was unable to. That will be a very safe kind of back to your base for the side of ReGen Nebula. And Shrine is now active. We do see it as a mortar. I believe it's a mortar Shrine because of more orange glow. We do see top camp getting taken. Jazzy Fast is now starting objective. And Sonya is actually in a brawl with IT Cowboy. IT Cowboy is not winning that, funnily enough, because it is a full slam Sonya. We actually see Garrosh is completing the objective. Good unstop on the Styxer. However, that is talk coming out now. Leap comes out soon, not soon after. Nice double stun by Anduin. However, it's a little bit too little, too late, as Sonya will find the kill onto Kael'thas, as that is the first kill for fensad this game. Wait. Yes. Oh, cool. Nidus is doing its thing. Just these two Niduses right here. Anyway, back to the action. As Zagara is doing their best to kind of just macro during this time. But we do see that this is pretty much going to be objective over to fensad. And I would like to see maybe the team of ReGen Nebula Star bottom camp. Yep, we do see IT Cowboy is on it. But now we're in a spot where you're not necessarily going to be able to survive at this fort. Murder basically needs to have Iron Skin up. Yep, there it is. Otherwise, whoever was going to get hit. Otherwise, was going to get thrown. We do see Ruglord now in danger, taking a lot of damage. And actually, Stukov, whoever it, oh no, it was Anduin Root, and that will be him going down. However, this is still a very healthy boss. It's probably going to go and get the fort before too long, unless it gets a bit too distracted by hitting people. Nope, it's decided the fort is once again its main prey, and we're getting relatively low. 3, 2, 1, and that was it. Well, yep, we do see now that the side of fensad are going back to macro. That objective died out basically straight after it. Oh, that was a... ReGen Nebula was looking for something there, but without... fensad didn't know what was about to hit them. Very good, they got that in that time. They are at the point now where they actually have a decent amount of their power spikes now. We do see Q Shield on Fraw. We do see Li Ming is kind of getting the extra range. Silence resets Stukov is probably the kind of biggest thing to point out here, as it makes him so much harder to kill. And instant mount Robot Wizard. Murder does use that Falling Sword to get out, keep his friends unstopped. And we do see just Ruglord, just someone shines some light in his eyes, like, what the hell, man, and just slams in frustration, going, no, this ain't worth it, man. No one wants light of your eyes. Driving is like, well, they have found Vanitas, and Vanitas is now dead, and meanwhile the side of ReGen Nebula very much going, hey, let's just push up here. There's not much that ReGen Nebula can do. They have only just respawned. They are put, oh, Murder is shoved out. Sticks are now in an awkward position over ahead of arrest. Shives is coming in now. We do see Nidus is sitting between the two lanes and the safety of jungle. Bracken barely dodging those missiles. Murder finds the Ruglord, does get hit by a slam, however, Warbreaker doing that poison damage. We do see rotation coming down. Also, just know there's a fight going on down here under the gates, and IT Cowboy looks like no worse for wear, eh? He's honestly fine. I'm going to watch this for a bit. Because Robot Wizard's coming down now. IT Cowboy's like, this is a problem. And got stuck on... Oh. Got stuck on Zagara's Nidus. That is so unfortunate for the Oh no. Oh. Shives, you've killed your Dahaka. You've killed your Space Yoshi. He has gone down. He is dead. There's not much you can do about it. That is a Space Yoshi kid. Gone. Done. Capiche. It's so unfortunate. Shives will get silenced now with that silence just strictly under gate, as we do have the side of fensad just kind of pushing as hard as they can while ReGen Nebula is slowly coming down. That is Nidus taken out once again. Shives is losing a little bit too much of their Niduses, a bit more than they'll want. And there's the Light Bomb. Falling Sword combo is instant double stun. There's quad stun from a Light Bomb, double stun from there. Wait, no, double stun from a Light Bomb. Anyway, it doesn't matter, as we do see a kill going on to Li Ming first. However, that is Kalphus going down next. Rackham is now in awkward position. We do have Ruglord finding him, gets a slam over the wall. Rackham going to do their best to survive. They actually managed to back out, and everyone's actually going to stay up, more or less. Tahaka's not even with them. That was a 4v3. A 4v5, gone down to a 3v4. Tahaka doing top camp in the meantime. And there'll be objective being called in just a few moments, and we do see it is going to be that, what I imagine is a Frozen Punisher. Man. That is a pretty good fight if you're the side of fensad, because you kind of need that momentum switch. Ball Lightning was used, didn't quite find a kill, but did do a decent amount of damage. Tahaka has now taken that top camp. Kalphus and Li Ming have only both just now respawned. And I'd like to see the side of ReGen Nebula aggress into this. They can probably take it, but I do like that after the first map, fensad is kind of showing them what they've got and wanting it. You can see they want it. There's a Light Bomb Falling Sword coming out. Light Bomb a little bit early. That means Ruglord was able to unstop it and live. And that will actually be the Zagara going down first. IT Cowboy joining a bit late, and Grismore not too far behind. Taunt coming out to Murder. Murder now in danger. Does have to pop the unstop. IT Cowboy does use that burrow. They do actually have that level 16 that makes them burrow a bit faster, about 200%, 120%, 140%, 125% burrowing speed, just to get them out of dodge. And we see Joanna is picking up it. Okay. This is where it turns... I'm going to say this is probably where it turns back in ReGen's favor. That percent damage at level 16 for Zagara is actually no joke. Yeah, that corrosive saliva. Especially if you're Garrosh, someone who relies heavily on your armor, who is suddenly unable to rely on said armor, is going to need to go, oh, there's a lot of bugs I need to kill all of a sudden. This is not as fun now as it was before. So those bugs are, oh. What has happened here? Either way, we do see that is both teams just kind of pushing, and we do see Falling Sword used, but Murder doesn't go in. That may have been a mispress, it may have been a miscommunication between them and the rest of the team. We do see that Murder is going to get stunned and taunted and stunned and taunted, and stunned and dead. And when Rackham did very much try to pull him out, but no, it was just a little bit too much, as we do see now. fensad is pushing this hard. They're hungry after that first loss. They want to make sure they can get back in this. We do see Stun coming out, as well as Phoenix doing their best to kind of stop the onslaught that is this push, because they managed to get fort and keep with it. We do see that as Sticks are thrown in. Rackham, however, gets a nice 3-man light bomb. Sticks are getting relatively low to Shives, and Rackham also relatively low, but that'll be Garrosh going down first, actually. Rackham still holding that sword out, meaning he hasn't quite died yet. And IT Cowboy is also relatively safe, and that will be that fight done. But if you're the side of fensad, you're like, okay, we have a momentum now. IT Cowboy had pinged aggressively, does manage to dodge Jazzy fast, however it isn't their own spot of bother. And Stixer does hit a lot. Unfortunately for our good friend, the IT Cowboy, the Space Yoshi there, he managed to find Sonya. Probably one of the healthiest members that were there currently. Meanwhile, Zagara has decided, yeah, pushing is more fun with the game. They just jump out to safety. Meanwhile, we see the side of fensad is looking to go down. Stixer hits 2, and we just see top 4 going down. Grismore took a lot of damage here. Nice leap by the Sonya going over for damage. And that's now them backline. We do see 6 best to go out. There's actually a 3-man kill all of a sudden. Darker managed to take out 1. Joe managed to take out another, and Kalfis managed to take out the 3rd. And that is not what you want to see if you're fensad. This could almost be an end call if you're ReGen Nebula, but no, it doesn't appear to be the case, as they are just clearing camps and kind of building up their macro pressure to kind of get that push. Well, we see a very strong push up here, and this Nidus is just sitting here, my word. Robert was taking the damage that they shouldn't be so far, and we do see now Nebula and it's fensad just kind of pushing against each other. Nebula very much feeling more aggressive, as we do see that camp. That tower. Sorry. Going slightly down, and this keep will be soon to follow. And saying that, Li Ming, Stukov, and Sonya all back up in a few moments. However, look how fast that building is going down. As that is the whole enemy team there. There's a whole team of ReGen Nebula there. And they are probably, unless they can get a kill like this second, probably going to need a back out. And you can see that out was called. Yep, Joe a little bit lagging behind to Shives also, but that will not be, neither of them going to want to go down, and they'll just back out to safety. Imagine we're about to see a Nidus back down here. No, she's just going to mount. They're looking at mid fort now, because 20s are through both sides. To quickly touch on Storm talents, as I have been kind of in the past, we do see Heaven's Fury from Joanna. Which I should have known that. It's a build I enjoyed, falling sort of like Heaven's Fury laser build. We do see that Murder is actually very cut off with the team. We may need to see a falling sword to get them out of here, but it won't be the word of ado. Leap, actually, Fro comes out on backline. Lightning ball, that's infinite lightning going off, and we do see so much damage coming up because stun coming from Sonya. Stixer, however, did pop that shield to Shives doing their best, and that'll be Hakwai going down first, and that'll actually be IT Cowboy was in the background fighting Stukov in the meantime. And that percent damage did so much for her. And now IT Cowboy is getting thrown, and it's not going to be them going, yep. As I say, I don't think I'm going to be able to escape this, and that will be the IT Cowboy going down. Good toss by Ruglord and good follow-up by the rest of the team. However, ReGen Nebula does have a number still, and you can see that they decide to heavily push into that gate. To Shives is setting up their escape route, but will just escape already, as we do see Ruglord and Grismore are not too far away. from where the Zagara was, and Zagara really doesn't want to have a bar of it, which I understand completely. I would not want to have a bar of it either. Right, there's Ruglord. Ruglord has been found. Grismore's like, oh, a piece of candy. And kills Venitus. Robot Wizard also does their best to help clear everything. That is murder getting thrown in, but honestly, the tank is probably not the one you want in the middle of things, and that is the tank going down. Oh, there's the light bomb, there's a falling sword, there is a dead Robot Wizard. Lightning Ball is being spread like, honestly, a volleyball game. Just keep serving it to each other, but it will only get 3 bounces off before it finally goes out, and that is that small game of volleyball finished. This is brave Zagara. Murder is wanting to step in. Silence has been used by Jazzy Fastback, honestly can. They don't quite get there in time, however, IT Cowboy does find the stun, but there is no follow-up at the present point. As I was saying, because I actually never touched on this, I literally just said Heaven's Fury, and then didn't say anything else. Other things to note is we do have Apex Predator Dahaka, we have Flamethrower Kalphus, Pack Leader on Zagara, and Varian's Legacy on Anduin. On the right hand side, we do have Top Off Stukov, Telrash's Elements Li Ming, Death Wish from Garrosh, Infinite Lightning from Cassia, and Ignore Pain from I keep calling her Zarya, Sonya. Man, I have not seen Death Wish picked very often. Usually you see Titanic Might, which can work with the level 16, but hey, if it works, it works. There's there's a falling sword, there's a Cassia getting triple stunned, and LBVM going down before they can get out. Now that Hawaii is in a dangerous spot, we do see enemy team punching on them. That 60 armor pop to ignore pain, but there's too much pain to ignore. You can't ignore dying. Well, you can, just it's not very easy. Meanwhile, we do have Core dropping pretty quickly beside of fensad. That'll be 30. That'll be Jazzy Fast trying to best to hold him a bit longer. Does silence under them. That'll be VM actually going down. Nearly took out 6L with him in the meantime. Core goes down with a kind of triple kill that the Zagara gets at the end. Right, let me change it on over to my game summary screen. Click this button, click this button, click this button. As we do see, ReGen Nebula has kind of taken that game just they had a very strong end by the end. It wasn't like the last game where it was a scrappy fight to the end where only 1 or 2 were lost, I believe. This time it was a full 4-5, and that those kills just kind of did stack up at the end. For in saying that, so I want to talk about fensad, because as I said, kind of they had a much more team fight comp as opposed to the objective comp of ReGen Nebula, which meant Nebula did take it, as this objective on this map is almost king. However, fensad still gave a very good kind of showing here. They had very strong moments. They were able to kind of muscle out the objective team on the objective a few times. And when they did have those favourable fights, you could see very much a win in their favour. However, just with how the maps are set out, ReGen Nebula's comp, I'd say, kind of was more suited to it. Just because their objective clear was good, and their siege, the split potential from both Dahaka and Zagara was just a bit too much for the side of fensad to handle. But I think that if we choose other maps where it's a bit more teamfight orientated, as opposed to objective orientated, I think fensad still has a very good chance actually here in this season of at least getting into playoffs and actually maybe making it into kind of the deeper rounds of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it back to my map view screen, just kind of summarize what had happened this evening, as we do see that map 1, Ultrac Pass, was taken by the side of ReGen Nebula, and then map 2, Infernal Shrines, because I have to cast it every match apparently, was also taken by ReGen Nebula. However, despite the score line, like the kill lines, they're both like pretty close games. Both went 22, 23, 21, 22 kind of range. Both very close in experience and were longer games. So I think both teams can hold their heads up high, knowing that this was a good series, and going into the next one they can go, actually, we can take this team. I think next time they meet, if they do meet again, I think each of these teams can take the other, and I would be super excited to see what happens there. But right, that will be all for me this evening, it's almost now 6 AM for EST, so I obviously can't be streaming when other people actually wake up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up, I'm going to put on some music, but for now, I wish everyone good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when or where they watch this, because time zones are weird. And I'll see you all in the Nexus. Goodbye for now.